Areej Murad. Areej is a Palestinian Christian from Bethlehem, working as the Development and Communications Department Coordinator at Bethlehem Bible College. She studied religious studies and psychology at Bethlehem University and wrote her dissertation on Zionism and the Kairos Palestine Document. Since that time, it has been her passion to speak up on behalf of her people and share the reality of Palestinian life. Let's welcome Areej Murad.
Good evening. When I first was asked to speak, I was asked to speak about hope for the young Palestinian Christians, and Munder have asked me this. He was hoping to add a young voice to the conference and adding a Palestinian voice to the conference, not knowing that he was actually challenging me personally to seek an answer for that question: where do I personally find hope? But just to clarify something, even for the Arab audience that are among us, that hope in Arabic has two different words. It has amal and it has raja. Amal is, it's a lightly word that we do not take seriously. So that's why I need to clarify the difference that I'm trying to address here tonight. Amal means a wish upon something, and it's a very light kind of hope. And that's not the type of hope that we are discussing, and that's not the type of hope that we are seeking. But I'm talking about the hope that causes you to wake up at each morning to seek life. The kind of hope that majority of people take for granted. The hope that leads us to God and makes us believe in His faithfulness. I even see hope in the people as they are created on God's image. Hope in the God within them to move them into doing the right thing. And for that, I thank you for being here. Just a little background about myself. I was born in Bethlehem. When I was 40 days old, my parents moved me back with them to Qatar. And I lived my first 7 years of childhood in Qatar, and then suddenly they decided to come back to the land, to Palestine. We gave them terrible time about this decision. We didn't understand why they were doing this decision. Why are you taking us back to a place we cannot have our freedom, our hope? And growing up, this challenge have became harder even. Because when we lived in Qatar, we were able to go to the beach whenever we wanted. We were not able to do that here, even though it's 1 hour away. We were able to have long walks, but we were not able to do this here while we were under curfews and under limitations of the wall. We were able to have green playgrounds, but we're not able to have any here because we only have 20% of the water, and that barely plants a tree. So living in Palestine became full of limitation, occupation, and dehumanization. And it became challenging more and more through time. Witnessing the violation of the Convention on the Rights of the Children by detaining Ahed Tamimi, for example, or the 40-year-old child who has suffocated to death in tear gas bombs, and the 450 illegal settlements that are permitted recently to be built around the Bethlehem area. And even then, I went through more challenges, more personal challenges through this time. I had a confliction between my personal identity and between my faith. I came to a conclusion that if I'm a Christian, I cannot be a Palestinian, because they both contradict. And I really went for so many years through this challenge. I was challenged that if I'm a Palestinian, then I need to, and that was directed by the extremist media that even we are exposed to, that if I'm a Palestinian, then I should be pro-violence. But if I'm a Christian, then I'm pro-love. And how can those come together? So I've been challenged, and for so long, for so many years, I decided to let both of my identities aside. But then when some of our local theologians have introduced what love, biblical love means to me and to us, and what God is teaching us from this love, they have taught me that I cannot live separately from even my identity as a Palestinian, but they both come together. And even I'm dehumanizing myself if I think myself as two separate identities. And I learned that love means loving your neighbor regardless of anything, but that doesn't mean to overlook their injustices, does not mean overlooking their wrongdoings towards me, but that holds me more responsible to actually expose this out of love and to hold them accountable. Therefore, I'm very happy to tell you that both of my identities are in me today. But I still have my worries. I worry about the next generation. I hope that they will get the message, and it is our responsibilities to receive the message to them. Because I'm sure that maybe I was able to put the words to the challenges I faced. I'm not sure if they're able to do that. And it's very challenging to find hope in Palestine, in a Palestinian context. But I ask you that please do not take hope for granted. And I ask you to help in planting hope into the next generation. For the local community, I ask you to be a reason of hope for us. Give us the motive to still find hope in our surroundings. Our ambitions are important for us, and they are our generator that keeps us moving forward. Please take that into consideration. I ask the international community to believe in our vision of peace in this land and to support justice. This will give us hope. And I ask all, the next generation, we need your wisdom and guidance, but we need our freedom to make our own mistakes so we can learn from them. I ask the youth to learn from the mistakes other generations are making and from the ones we are making and will be making, and mainly to understand the importance of a community and all of us to be united, as we've heard from previous speakers like Ruth and other speakers who've emphasized how empires are destroying communities. I pray for hope to remain even amongst hardship. I pray for unity, and I pray for love. Thank you for being here.